Hi everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller, and today I want to talk about the importance of speaking up. Sounds silly, right? Still, a lot of us don't, and I'm speaking from personal experience. For much of my life, I didn't like how others treated me or how I felt in certain situations, and sometimes I left, and other times I stayed, quietly keeping my feelings to myself. Why do we sometimes do this? What can happen when we speak up? We get punished. We can get cast out of the circle, we can get disowned by our family, we can lose friendships, we can get fired, divorced. Big painful stuff that keeps us silent, and after many years of this silence we feel disempowered. Even after a moment of this silence we feel disempowered, until hopefully there comes a day when we say enough. I'm tired of feeling like this. I want better for myself. And then we decide if that person or situation is valuable enough for us to speak up, or if maybe we should walk away. A friend of mine suffered unspeakable abuse by her family when she was a little girl, and miraculously she healed herself and is now using her painful experiences to help in the healing of others, and she's very successful at it. And as part of her healing journey, she spoke up to her family and said, "Hey, this happened. Why did you let this happen when I was a little girl?" And they didn't want her to bring it up. So this happens sometimes. Maybe, most of us have less drastic situations, but when we're trying to heal through something, we maybe need to talk about it. Not maybe, we often do need to bring it up, to get it up and out. And a lot of times, those that we're speaking our truth to may not want to hear it because it's too painful for them to take accountability. So they want us to keep quiet, and because we're not, we become a problem. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be a problem. It is okay to be cast out. Yes, it might be lonely for a little bit, or it might be lonely for a long time. However, how else are we going to attract to us those who are meant to be in our lives? When we're not speaking up, when we feel we're being wronged in some way, or something's not sitting right with us, we're not honoring ourselves. And when we stay in the company of others with whom we can't be ourselves around, we are not being true to ourselves. Why do we do that? Easy. We want to be accepted. But when we're in the company of others with whom we can't be honest, we're not being accepted by them. But the most painful part is that we're not accepting ourselves, and we leave that situation and or those people feeling very disempowered. And that is the loneliest feeling ever. I know, because I did it for years. And when I finally spoke up, friends fell away, family members fell away, and it was very uncomfortable. It was very painful for a while. But then I began to feel better, more empowered. It is when we accept and are true to ourselves that we begin to feel empowered, and we then begin to draw those to us who encourage us, appreciate, accept us, and who we can be 1000% ourselves around. And that is a great feeling. Okay, so here's a kind of silly, extreme example. Let's say you're sitting having coffee at a coffee shop, and you're in a group of people that you don't know that well, and through the midst of the conversation you learn that you happen to be sitting in a group of white supremacists, and you don't say anything, you don't speak up or leave, you just kind of quietly go along with them. Well, then aren't you going to draw more white supremacists to you? Of course you are, because you're hanging out in the group, quietly going along, not being yourselves, and then somebody in the group says, "Hey, come on over here, hey," and you come on over here, their other friends, and now you're surrounded by more white supremacists. Now, of course, we don't always need to speak up. It's certainly not our job to try to change others' minds, and we do need to be discerning and keep ourselves safe. But if we decide to be unapologetically ourselves, get up and excuse ourselves to the bathroom, and maybe on our way back we find a different place to sit next to someone who's not a white supremacist because they're not sitting with them, now that just feels better. Okay, here's another, that's definitely an extreme example, but we could relate it to other areas of our lives. So here's another lighter example. I'm definitely a creature of habit. I fill my days very organized with all of the things that are important to me. However, I'm not a I don't like to make plans in advance most of the time. It depends on the situation. Of course, sometimes I will, but mostly I don't like to do that because I'm not sure, what's going to be most valuable to me on that day. Maybe my workload is going to increase a lot and I'm going to feel better staying home and taking care of that. Or maybe I'll have had a rough day and I know that I need to have some quiet time to myself so that I can get myself back up, in a positive energy. So typically I won't like to say, make dinner plans a week in advance, But anyhow, because I'm not a planner, as a result, some friendships have never gotten off the ground for me because other people are planners. And they might say, let's get together for dinner on Thursday at 6:30. That feels like stress to me because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then. So in staying true to myself, what I do is when I feel like going out, I get up and I go out last minute always, and I don't call around and see who's available because that just feels exhausting to me. And in doing that, over the years, I have made great friends who, guess what, do exactly the same thing. By being our true, authentic selves, we all came in alignment, with each other. And we don't make plans. We just, happen to meet up and all hang out. Once in a while we do. And if we're having dinner together, we don't even order at the same time. We might be all sitting at the same table. We do our own thing. And it works for us. It's okay to speak up and it's okay to walk away. And it is imperative to go in the direction that feels right to you. This is how we draw the people and things that are meant for us. I'm Amy Lee Miller, and I believe in you.